For weeks I'd planned to visit Bardsey Island in Wales, but then strong winds caused my boat crossing to be cancelled and I thought my trip was going to be ruined. Instead, it led me to some fascinating places I didn't know about before. Let's go and explore this hidden corner of Wales. Behind me there in the sea is Bardsey Island. I was supposed to be there today on a boat trip, but it's been cancelled because of the wind. So even though the weather's good, it's nice and sunny and warm on the island, and here at the top of the mountain, which is the viewpoint, it is windy. It's okay in the town below, but just up here it's windy, and because of the current around the island, they said they could get us there, but they couldn't guarantee we could get off today safely. There's only 4 people live there today. In the 19th century, they had a peak population of around 130. That would have been the 1870s, 1880s. And one of the reasons why people left the island to come back to the mainland was because of the weather and boats not being able to get to them, particularly in winter. So this is the closest I'm going to get to Bardsey Island, unfortunately. Following my stop up at the viewpoint, I decided to get back in the car and drive around the Llŷn Peninsula looking for other interesting places. Today I'm heading to one of the most picturesque places in Wales. I can't drive directly to this village where I'm going, so I've parked in the National Trust car park and then I'm walking on this path that will take me around the coastline, and after about 20 minutes I should reach the village. This tiny coastal village sits on one of the most beautiful bays on the peninsula, where turquoise waters meet a rugged headland. So I've just had a quick look down at the village. The pub's quite busy at the moment because it's the only place there is to get something to eat, so I'm going to go down there in a bit. So here in front you can see some nice little houses in the distance, and then there's this rusted old boat here, so I'm not sure what that is. And then there's a small beach with nobody on it, so I might sit here for a while. And sometimes when the tide comes in you wouldn't be able to walk this way. The tide's just starting to go back out. So if you carry on up the coastal path, past the village, go uphill a little bit and you get a fabulous view looking down on the village and the beach. So the quiet beach where I was before is just past that house on the corner there, just behind it. There's no facilities there, so the beach had nobody on it. In the 19th century, shipbuilders used to work here, and this site was considered as a possibility to develop a major port connecting Wales with Ireland, but they decided to open the port at Holyhead instead. The red building is the pub, the Tŷ Coch Inn. It was originally a vicarage and then became the inn in 1828. So I can just about see a little house down there straight in front. So I've walked across this whole coastline. You can see from here, the setting of this village is really unique. So on the other side, behind the greenery, you can see there the golf course is another beach. So in this path here, I'm almost at the end of this peninsula. So as you can see, it's a lot windier on this side. You can walk from the car park along the seafront to get to the village, but not when the tide's in. So I walked on the road. So along this route, you've got a sandy beach down at the far end, and then towards this end, it's all pebbles, quite big pebbles, so it's quite hard to walk on. I found my ankles getting quite sore towards the end. So I would say if you've got small children or people with mobile difficulties, you're probably better going on the road, which is the way I walked in. Behind me, this medieval church dates back to around the 12th century, and it was used as a stopping point for the medieval pilgrims on the pilgrimage route towards Bardsey Island. It's still used today for services, but apparently it has no electricity. It's lit by candlelight. I'm hoping it's open so I can go in and have a look. And because of sea storms in the winter, apparently on the other side there's no windows. The church is really tiny inside. I'm just glad it was open so I could come and have a look. And if you look at the floors, there's something a bit special about it. This church still uses the ancient tradition of rush bearing. This dates back to the medieval period when the floor was covered with fragrant rushes and herbs for insulation and cleanliness. So this is the side of the wall where there aren't any windows. This is the part that faces the sea. The church still holds a special Lammas service at the beginning of August, an old custom to mark the first harvest of the grain crop. This candlelit service involves the ancient tradition of decorating the church with loaves and fruits. And just remember when you come out to put the bolt across to keep the door shut. Just behind me is a 17th century manor house, and it's owned by the National Trust. At the moment the house is being renovated, so only the gardens and the outside area are open, and there's a tea room and there's parking. So the ticket price was £4.80, which I thought seemed quite low for a place like this, but the reason for that is because you can't go in the house at the moment. So the lady in the shop told me that it would probably be done by December, and then so next season hopefully the house will be open, but the ticket price will be a bit more. In this shop I just picked up some free leaflets in Welsh. I'm learning Welsh. I'm currently on an intermediate course, and when I told the lady that, she switched to Welsh, which was very good for me because I'm at the level now where I can switch and speak Welsh without having to think too much. So that was good practice for me. If anybody wants to leave me a comment in Welsh, I'll try and reply to you in Welsh. In 1938, the house was bought by the three Keating sisters, who carefully restored it and transformed the gardens. They later donated the property to the National Trust, helping to ensure its preservation. So this building here next to the house, on the map it says it was a holiday cottage. So this small building here was the old dairy. So that small building at the back there is the privy on the map, so that's the old toilet. My final stop was to Aberdaron, a small seaside village that feels like the end of the road. For centuries, this was the last place where pilgrims rested before making the dangerous crossing to Bardsey Island, and this cafe was one of the places which used to be a communal kitchen for the pilgrims in the 1300s. The village is centred around this historic 12th century church. Pilgrims would often worship here before attempting the crossing over to Bardsey. Today the village is known for its long sandy beach, traditional cottages and the strong Welsh-speaking community. Although I never made it across to Bardsey Island, I think I still found an area of Wales that's just as special. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.